I remember the first time.
You ever got scared? Or you were frightened scared? Like, you ran.
Really
frightened scared is like you see something and you take off running.
Well, here's the thing.
Like, you're not trying to be around that.
I got so scared that I was literally frozen in fear one time.
Or that can happen.
That was, and like, I think I scared it. It took a look at me and it got scared.
It was
at the time when I was at, going to Kaiser College of Golf. Shout out to Kaiser College of Golf. Port St. Lucie campus.
Seagulls. Go Seagulls.
Huh?
Go Seagulls.
Go Seagulls. But, yeah, I stayed at, I rented out a house down there.
This was in Port Lucie?
Yeah.
This is when the college was, like, actually haunted by ghosts?
Yeah, but this wasn't at the college. That was more funny than anything.
Yeah.
The ghosts were students. But basically I look in the closet and a skeleton skull. Basically a silhouette of one with a veil. Looking like it just came out of Indiana Jones. Was in my closet. And I got so scared that basically I was...
You were frozen?
I was frozen in fear because I thought it was going to come towards me because it started out like...
They said it was a silhouette.
It was a silhouette, which means translucent.
It was just like a shadow of it, right?
No, it wasn't a shadow. I saw its face and it wasn't very nice.
There's that girl with the
and what was scary when I saw it, it was me to the camera away. Basically, so I had no time. I'm laying in bed just trying to do homework. And all of a sudden
You were doing homework?
I was.
You never do homework.
I never did until the last minute. But there's been other times, like I've seen UFOs that wasn't scary. I've seen another ghost in my apartment in St. Petersburg, Florida. Shout out to St. Petersburg.
Shout out.
Tampa Bay area. I hope the red tide isn't too bad over there anymore. Basically I look in my closet. I just wake up from a noise and, this time it looked like another person.
This is another ghost?
Another ghost. It was like...
So how many ghosts have you seen total in your life?
I've seen a lot.
Like, are we talking double digits?
Double digits, yeah.
Oh, my. So what's your belief on that? What is that? Now, you feel like that's souls that are trapped in purgatory? Between heaven or hell or something like that? Or another dimensional beings?
There's
so many.
I do, I think.
Nobody knows.
I think if they're so
this is all
emotional
speculation,
when
right?
they die or they're so scared.
Because you can't prove it.
Right. Or maybe they just have so much power that they just say, hey, I want to stay. Or like they don't know they're dead.
Oh. I mean, I don't know.
Like
nobody really knows.
Like it really is. It really is just like going to sleep. Like the last thing I remember driving
when you died.
When I died was just it was
so
like
confident.
It was almost like you saw this and then 1 millisecond later you don't see anything else and you just out of the blue, out of nowhere, nothing. Just
there's no sense of anything.
No sense of anything. There's no.
But you're there though.
All you see is black, and then you just see yourself going up, or something.
Oh, you see yourself.
Mm-hmm. Like the only reason why I knew is I was able to see Shaq and his buddies in the back seat. So
you were out of the body.
I was out of the body.
A lot of people say when they die, or technically did die, that they out of body experience.
Yeah.
A lot of hovering over the body.
But hey, like I said, if I wanted to go, I wanted it to look spectacular, and it did. Or my body cut itself 3/4 of the way in half. And then I started flailing around, screaming like Game of Thrones, and basically I apologized to the guy that took the money.
What is it? What are you talking about now?
At the place we were at, the mall. Shout out to West Palm Beach.
What mall?
The outlet in West Palm Beach.
Are you talking about when
Basically how it happened.
When you tore everything inside your body, you said?
Yeah. Basically, the first layer, all I felt was like a chain fence, just very little. Because when I took that,
why does every show have to be about his injuries? Nobody, the camera's right there.
Sorry.
What is that, though?
So, yeah, basically, I took one step, and it was to hear all this tore, and I was like, oh, shit, if I don't do something, I'm dead now. So I stopped.
How do you know you're going to die?
Because it was tearing, and it just kept on
you can
tearing.
still live with tears, and people tear shit all the time.
Right, but it's the spot where I was tearing everything. It was my intestines tearing. All the vital organs inside.
How do you know they're vital? You're not a doctor. How do you know?
No, but my dad's friends are.
But at that moment, you just said all these things to yourself, and nobody else. So you're going off your dad's friend's knowledge from he told you everything about that?
Well, no, just from what I felt, because I can punch myself in the face, run into walls, and
just from previous pain experience.
Right. This was.
That makes sense.
This was. I mean.
He's had a lot.
I asked for help with pain, and I never ever do that.
It was kind of weird.
My eyes were, you could tell, and then I got very tired. To the point where all the blood was rushing to my head like I was getting a suplex. And I was like, guys, I did the line from Machete. I was like, hey, listen, I may not be able to stay. But if you do decide to remain in my company, then I'm afraid you might become a casualty as well. And then they're like, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
And then I make the right turn. I basically go 3-4 seconds. And then just...
done for.
Just that quick.
Just dead.
Yeah, just seeing everything, nothing's
down,
happening, and then just...
This is the third time you've ever talked about that injury.
I know. It's just... It was beautifully choreographed. It was like that one movie where Janet Reno plays a bad guy.
Who's Janet Reno? Who is that?
He's
That's a guy?
Yeah, it's
sounds
a guy.
Like a girl. Janet Reno?
Or Renee
Zellweger?
Something. No, just
Renee.
The guy has an interesting name for a guy, but it's his. It goes.
Dude,
it
chill
goes.
out.
I'm sorry.
Freak the
It
fuck.
goes. It goes with his nationality, his ethnicity. They have names
That's
like
racist.
that. No,
you can't
no.
judge him because of that.
No, I mean my name's Chris.
What's that mean?
Female, male names.
No,
There's a lot of female, male names out there.
Yeah.
And sometimes
mine is one too. Yeah.
There's some that you may not expect, but they're there.
They're there.
Yeah.
Just like Ghost.
Doesn't matter. We're all people.
Ghost, aliens, they're all over the place.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, just in the movie, he gets shot by, I think, Robert De Niro or something.
Renee Zellweger?
I forget his name. But when he dies, he dies 4 times, hey, I'm dead, hey. And then he would come back, and he's like, I'm dead, hey.
He would do this in, 10-minute spans?
Yeah, and then, at the end, I think he killed the bad guy, even though he was the bad guy, and then he died.
What was the name of this one?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I just seen the movie.
We don't even know the actor's name, right?
I think I do.
You said something, I thought.
Janet Reno?
Is there a real Janet Reno?
But I just don't want to be wrong.
Is there you can Siri it. Google. DuckDuckGo. I use DuckDuckGo. Where's he at?
I have a feeling that it's not right.
Is there a Janet Reno that ever acted? I don't think so. Have you ever heard of Janet Reno? It's some made up. That's made up. Who is this? Is it a congresswoman? Yeah, American lawyer. And Anna Turner. Oh, man. Attorney General of the United States. Definitely not an actor. Could have been a cameo.
That's a real person.
Could have been a cameo.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Reno.
Janet
Actor.
Reno.
God.
What was the name of the movie? You don't even know the name of
I
the
don't
movie.
even know.
This is gonna bother me now.
Oh, I'm sorry, John Reno.
Who's that?
John Reno.
Johnny Reno.
John Reno.
Johnny Ringo.
John Reno.
John Wick. Oh, he's an actual person. Oh, I've seen this guy. I didn't know that was Jean Reno.
Yeah.
Jean Mariano Hernandez, known as Jean Reno. Marac. That's not even how they talk.
John Reno.
Jean Reno. Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Please.
Bucksbury. Let's have Chris do it again.
Yeah.
Stay seated. I'll come to you.
I am the table.
Ladder and chair.
Haha.
Batman, Fat Man, Stand Man, Chrissy Pissy, Pissy. Cover your face, I'm gonna blast you. I'm gonna get your bald spot.
Target acquired.
You got that Rogaine, son?
Yo.
Get your arms too.
Thank you.
Did you get your neck?
My neck. Ow. What happened? Did I get too wet?
I don't know, did you?
Oh. Just what Trey Young said.
You are Trey Young.
Bang!
I never heard that before. No one says that. Your phone's wet. Someone says it's like, oh shit, my phone's wet. I need to dry it.
Where's the rice?
Where's the rice bowl
I
at?
need a bowl of rice right now.
Your off thing went completely off.
Hey.
I don't know what happened.
Hey, look.
I'm just telling you. I didn't do it.
This
Stop.
is what happened.
Stop.
This
Pissy
is
did.
when
We're not
Scorpion
shouting-
faced Sub-Zero.
You can't be Sub-Zero. You're gonna get that in your eyeball.
Dude, give me that.
You can definitely get blind.
We're not
from
shouting out off. Give me that fucking shit.
There's
No
mass-
free.
that. This podcast
marketing.
is sponsored by
No,
On,
the fuck is
the
not.
newest bug spray that was ever made. On my body.
It is not.
No logo.
No, it is not.
This podcast is brought to you by
Fresh Tuesdays production. That's
Fresh Tuesday Production
all
and
these
then
other brands.
and
goddamn.
plastic. Nice to meet you, Aaron.
Dan.
This is Chrissy Pissy.
Chris.
Chris, you gonna introduce yourself? What the
He's
fuck
good.
are you doing?
What's up, guys?
He's
What's
so
up, dude?
weird. That
Yo.
amazing.
Chrissy Pissy.
I'm Dan.
His real
Nice to
name's
meet you,
Chris.
Dan the man.
I was like, dude, you seem like you should do open mic.
He has.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5
He
guys. Yeah.
seems like
He's a fucking weird looking guy. He's hilarious. Though.
he's
Okay.
awesome.
I look like a bird.
You're a character. You're
He
great.
is. He does
Hey,
not.
I could tell you're one too. I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
wait.
I can tell you're one.
We all good?
Yeah, we just basically just shoot the shit. We don't have any topics unless you want to talk about something.
Should I leave this up here?
We don't want to sponsor anything, so we can't have any labels or anything. That's Tommy's pet peeve.
That's
doesn't
what I was
like-
saying.
Not dissing out bread. We're not putting this shit. No.
Vic-
I brought you guys together because I was telling Aaron about your bike.
Oh yeah,
story.
we heard about your.
He's a life coach.
Yeah, I've
he's
been-
a super athlete.
Oh shit, you
Yeah,
look
I've
like a
been-
hell of an athlete.
Bro,
Yeah,
just, hey, introduce yourself because
Yeah.
you have like a lot of hats. Which
Yeah.
is why I wanted you on the show.
absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been helping people like on this journey with just self-improvement.
Yeah.
I've been biking like 26 miles a day.
Now, how long have you done that for?
I did it for a 2-week period where I did it consecutively, and I have it on Strava. But my farthest I ever went was 80 miles.
Wow.
And
Now, where was that? Was that around here?
yeah, just the Parkway, and I actually
Oh,
passed
okay.
the nature center all the time.
Oh wow.
Get some water.
Yeah, go ahead. So, wow, that's crazy. How long did that take?
7.5 hours, non-stop running, like a full
Non-stop
fucking-
running? I thought you were on a
full-time job.
bike.
Yeah, like full
Oh,
sprint.
you were just sprinting on the thing.
Yeah, and it's a heavy bike.
Holy crap.
And I just got a road bike, and I'm about to do it with 100 miles, and it should take me about, if I go like 15 or 20 miles an hour, depending if I don't take any water breaks, I should be able to do it in like a 10 to 12 hour period.
Wow.
So,
Now, what got you into that? You just kind of stumbled onto it, or you know people that do that, or?
Well, my dad had open heart surgery, and I took care of my grandfather before he passed away.
Yeah.
So I started like researching like nutrition and like neuropathy. Like I tried to figure out like what do we do, because I have a mechanical and like technical background, and I love working on machines.
Right.
And my favorite, like, I was looking at our body like a machine, and I was like, with nutrition, what do we put into this organism to optimize its performance? And like I struggled with biking like 1 to like 5 miles a day, and when I was like, man, I'd say it took me about 5 years of consecutive biking, but when I first started, I struggled with like a mile.
Right.
Because I smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day from when I was 18, and now I'm about to be 26 on July 21st.
Did you stop smoking?
Yeah.
How long have you?
I haven't had cigarettes since I was 18.
That's great, man. Congrats. That's tough. Because that's when I started smoking cigarettes at 18, and that's tough. Because you're just on and off.
Nicotine's a bitch.
Yeah.
It is. I've been helping a lot of people with that too. It's
I
just
could definitely use your service on it. Because I'm doing like Zen now. It's like the straight nicotine.
I actually vapes. Vapes help.
Vapes help.
Yeah.
I think that has THC in it though. I like that.
That's awesome.
Shout
That
out
could
to
help too.
THC Delta.
Yeah, I think that's good for you though, like marijuana in some forms.
Oh yeah, CBD, any of those like anti-inflammatory are really beneficial.
Right. Now, high THC though, does that have a lot of benefit for your body also, or is it more CBD?
It depends. You have to have like Are you familiar with the entourage effect?
Mm-mm.
You need like a certain amount of different cannabinoids where you have like CBD, CBGA, any of these antipsychotic, anti-inflammation like cannabinoids, because our entire endocrine system communicates with our endocannabinoid system, and it proliferates from the central nervous system like roots.
Yeah. Right.
And when you have neuropathy, you lose connection.
Could it even like a pinched nerve disrupt that? Like even like a lot of people have pinched nerves, and you know what I mean, that damage that can mess with your
any injuries. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had severe head injury, and I stuttered when I was younger.
He's had a lot of CTE. Is there anything he could do to come back from that, or?
It's all the cognitive behavioral therapy, and it's a lot of like any stuff like that he's using can help, especially with the neural inflammation. Especially because I had anxiety and depression when I was younger, and I had really bad social anxiety.
Right.
But I couldn't speak, especially in front of people or like in a classroom setting.
Right.
And the things that I started doing to fix my ability to articulate what I was thinking when I was thinking it in a clear and concise way, instead of like getting caught up and like what was going on in my head. In my head, yeah.
Kind of going with thoughts like can take you off topic.
Yeah. And I realized like when you have an intellectual conversation with someone where their cognition is able to receive like the level of bandwidth in the conversation, like it's almost like we're upgrading your computer and having high-speed internet instead of like
I'm giving you a little bit of my data, you're sharing your data with me.
But it's a higher speed.
Yeah.
It's like when I've noticed with like cognitive decline, they're on like the old computers with like really low gigabyte internet.
Right. That's a great way to look at it.
And their loading speed of like the way they can like think about how much data we could process right now looking into this environment.
So much at one look, at one stare, one
and think
millisecond,
about like artists, how they can completely just look at something and draw it like a printer.
Yep. I used to do that as a kid. I used to look at shit and I would just draw it.
These neuroscience. Do you know who Dr. Amen is?
No, I don't.
Dr. Amen, and then another cool podcast is Lex Friedman.
Oh yeah, I know Lex.
Yeah, he's cool.
I know him from Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I love Joe Rogan.
Yeah, Joe's awesome.
Those are really good podcasts too, and they have a lot of information. They talk to a lot of like
different people,
the neuroscientists and the neurobiology that they know. I'm trying to think. Dr. Rhonda Patrick, she has really valuable information too. So there's things that they've talked about that I've incorporated. But like I was saying, I looked at my body like a machine, and it's crazy how when I worked on cars, I started seeing like all of our wrists, Like our joint, every part of our body
has a
there's something.
There's a reasoning to it.
That's why there's so many doctors, like a foot specialist, a hand specialist. Like there's so many. Like, could you imagine? Like, how do you become a surgeon? This is the most sophisticated machine to work on. When you cut somebody open and like seal, like and fix tendons or like bones. Like my dad has an artificial valve in his heart, and I talked to the heart surgeon. Yeah. And I'm like, how did you learn to go? Where did you go to school to learn how to do this?
Yeah. Do they practice it on? They can't practice it. You have to actually just.
You have to. They said they practice on like pigs or like cadavers and stuff, and like just like it's certified like animal things like carcasses
that are close enough.
In the medical. And they in the valve that they use is a cow valve, and they use a pig valve because it's the most similar related.
Okay. You alright, Chris? You have any?
Hell yeah, dude. He's awesome.
You have any questions for this guy over here?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, did you say you had like I was listening to the other one you guys did. Did you say you had like background with like cinematography or?
I did, yes.
Hell yeah.
No.
He's awesome.
He always does.
No, he's good.
Thank you.
Can't help. Hey, there's
I'll be okay in a
spider.
second.
What's up, buddy? What is that?
The way I did it, I dabbled in a little bit of everything when it comes to entertainment. I trained independently in the wrestling industry. I didn't make it, but I made it through.
You wrestled?
Yeah, I made it.
Oh man,
through,
do you have any footage we could watch?
I know.
I have footage on my
good.
phone of me wrestling myself.
Did you have a
That
funny?
doesn't count.
Did you dress up?
That doesn't count.
No, but that's what we were talking about last episode. I did have back in 2004. I wrestled during, after Greek school for like teenagers youth group. We had a wrestling match. It was a 3-on-1.
How old are you at this time? You're a little guy.
15.
Yeah, you're a little.
13 or 15, something like that.
How old are you now?
32.
32.
Yeah. You can tell he has.
I've done stuff like
decline
I
rate.
have so many.
It's just there's.
I'm just
I have so many different ways that I've been injured that it's like it should have been the end of me.
Yeah.
I mean like I've had sticks, like actually pointy needle sticks, impale my eye.
What the fuck?
And I took it out myself.
No. Yeah, it's crazy.
I had a
died so many
go-kart
times.
accident where my buddy tried to do a 360 in the go-kart going 50 miles per hour, and I'm on the back of it, and the weight distribution wasn't right, and I went Superman over the top. I went flying, and it was funny because like I go up in the air, of course it's slow motion, and I just see my parents' roof, and I'm higher than my parents' roof.
You told us.
So you said you had how many concussions?
Like, be realistic.
Realistically, I say 50 on the low side.
On the low
So,
side?
it's just
How?
repetitive head trauma.
Yeah.
That's not good, right?
But it
What
could
can he do?
create like really unique personalities.
That makes sense then.
No, I'm serious. And like
really
really interesting characteristics. Like, are you like extraordinarily good at certain things or like weird things?
Yeah. He's what? Yeah, he can climb stuff. Like he does
Like,
a lot
can
of
you do
endurance
some
stuff.
things like really weirdly better than most people can?
I climbed a 140-foot hill.
Yeah, so he could be like a.
He's a really good
savant
athlete.
of some way.
Cause he how far walks do you do?
A savant.
Now? He's doing like 40-mile walks right now.
They call it like an autistic savant, or
What's a savant?
That's a good word to look up for you guys.
I gotta look it up.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Savant.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
know what
dude.
it means?
No, it's a good thing though.
Sounds
like
cool.
like some people, after head traumas, they either find something they're really good at, they get impulsive in certain aspects, and they find like their passion.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because I got in a car accident, and then I got like obsessive with bikes. And then
you had nothing with bikes before that?
No.
No shit.
And before, like I just got like really passionately into these bikes because after it gave me an outlet, because every time I wanted to smoke, or if like I started getting like too trapped in my head, like dealing with taking care of my grandpa, realizing mortality at like 18
at a young age.
And then having these social issues where I couldn't speak what I was thinking, and it was kind of interesting, like all this journey of like just changing your thoughts, changing your environment, and your world changes.
Changing your habits too.
Yeah.
Right.
Down to the way you think.
Right.
And then so, like, this is a perfect example, the environment. Yep. Changing positive people, positive environment, positive conversation, and your world changes.
Right.
Because this is the oldest we've ever been, and the youngest we'll ever be every second.
Hey.
Holy fuck.
It's crazy.
That's hard. Yeah.
It's nuts, dude.
That's true, though.
Like, we've never been in this moment.
People don't take time to sit back and kind of look at it, the now.
Yeah.
Like being in the now. Everybody's
Fully
looking
present.
ahead or looking back. And either way, it fucks you. Well,
That's
you
why
gotta kind of look a little ahead, but at the same time, you can't lose track of the present, too. The moment.
I was
Because
telling
you can
him
be gone in an hour later. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took my life for granted. I was too busy working, and then before I knew it, I was like 5 or 6 years of my life went. I was working at the Browns Q, the Rock Hall, and the zoo, and I was a manager setting up banquets.
Yo,
and
shout out to the spider. I'm sorry.
Hell yeah, that's your buddy. What type of spider is that?
Daddy Longlegs.
He's
I heard
just
they're like the
"Hey, I'm
most poisonous,
chill-
but they
hey,
can't
I'm
bite
over
you.
Yeah,
here,
they
man."
can't.
But they are actually poisonous.
Yeah, I was working the Browns Q, the Rock Hall, and the zoo, and then I started doing Uber on the side, Uber and Lyft.
Yeah.
And that was the craziest experience
Oh, I
I've
bet.
ever done in my life.
What year was that when you were doing that? It was pretty busy down there. That was before COVID and shit.
Yeah, right before COVID, I stopped I took my car in to get fixed, and then all this shit started happening with the pandemic. And it was like perfect timing. Because I needed to get work done on my car, and so like before I knew it, there was like everything was changing. And like restaurants were shutting down, the mandatory stay-ins, and then like the financial state of like society was just nuts.
Yeah. The whole world changed. Everything's changed. We'll never probably be back to
And that's why I started doing the bikes, because I needed to find money on the side. And I was like, I was doing DoorDash one day, and I found a bike in the garbage, and I was like, I never had a bike like that. And like, it was a nice frame. It was all rusty though.
Yeah.
I took all the components off. I did the research, and I made a sweet bike with like $300 or $400
Nice.
from a frame I found in the garbage. And every time I look at it, I remember that day I was hustling, working. And like,
Damn.
I like DoorDash better. It's safer, especially if you're a female.
Yeah.
But like, doing Uber and Lyft, it was like
sketchy.
Yeah, I called it crack taxi. You picked up every drug addict, alcoholic, fucking AA person. If you worked from like 9 o'clock to like 2 in the morning, you're picking up the sketchy. But even actually, I tried 10 o'clock to like 5 in the morning, and that is the craziest. That's like, I got a dash cam, and the footage and the memories I have at that time is
Really?
like, it was the most I've ever enjoyed a job, but it was the most dangerous.
Right.
But it was the most human. Getting to meet people,
Every single interaction.
seeing our what runs our like city, like when we go to our food, like we'll go to our restaurants and like any of these fast food places or the stores. I was taking these people at like 4 or 5 in the morning to like unlock the doors and set up for these people to get breakfast, and I was like, holy shit! It was like looking behind the scenes.
Right.
And like, it's pretty wild.
Put things in perspective,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
How hard people are working.
Just to get by day to day.
And they're using a government phone to use. They don't have a car and they need a job, and they're using an app to get to work, and it's changing their life. Where they're getting a better apartments, where they're getting out of an environment where their parents are drug addicts and like they were born into poverty in a fucked up area. And I'm like, this is so crazy. I'm getting to see Cleveland like right in front of me.
Right.
Like the real people, and it puts you in perspective. I'm like, I picked up this kid that was 18 years old around East Cleveland, and he was working McDonald's and Burger King, and he found both of his parents overdosed. And the day he came home and told them he got a promotion, he wanted to come home to tell them he was getting a promotion, that they were going to be able to have the money to move, and he found them both with needles in their arms in their living room.
He was 8.
And he's getting beat up in Cleveland because these kids think he's stupid for working at a fast food place, and they'd rather him sell drugs. And he's like a very articulate, well-dressed young black kid.
Yeah.
And I literally got out of the car and like dapped him up and gave him a hug. And I felt so, dude. I was
God,
I
yeah.
pulled over. I signed off the app, and I was like, I literally had tears coming out of my eyes. I was like, the shit that I was going through, it puts in perspective that there's somebody always going through shit that's worse.
Yep.
And you can't compare apples to oranges.
True.
That's like nobody's life is worse or better.
You just got to be thankful for what you got and pray for other people. I mean, whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, but...
It's nuts. There's people going through some fucked up shit right now.
I mean, look at South Africa right now.
For a moment, we could be thinking of how blessed we are to be with...
We're on a podcast. We're doing a podcast. Like, how free... Like, we have that freedom to do that. It's amazing. Put it in perspective.
Chris.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Busy. The little busy.
Sorry. Yeah, like, I agree. Like, you know...
Life's too short.
It is. I'm not gonna mention it, but I found that out really quickly as well. And, it's during this time, I think that's why, I may be tougher, or, than some people in my
during
family.
COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's a good learning experience for families. And it brings people closer, and it makes them, it's shining a light on all the areas of their lives that they were ignoring.
Yeah.
And it's amplifying it. And I think some people are having trouble dealing with, like, say if you're an at-home parent now and you were always working, now you're there seeing what the school and, like, the babysitter and the aftercare was doing.
Right.
And now you're stuck with that responsibility. And some people as adults already are struggling with a job. And they're not ready to raise a human being because it's a full-time job. Like when I was taking care of my grandfather after I came home from work, like that was the hardest fucking thing I've ever done in my life. When I was already exhausted and I had to like come home, change his dentures, check his hearing aids, like make sure he was clean, change his diapers, give him a shower if he needs to, feed him, cook him, get him ready for tomorrow, get him dressed, do his laundry, clean his bed sheets.
You're
and
doing
I'm like,
everything, yeah.
Like I was like, this is what parents had to do for us.
For 18 years or longer.
Could you you have kids?
No.
Oh my god, I can't imagine how hard it is having kids.
If
I'm like, that was like a preview.
Yeah.
I'm not having any.
And then, yeah.
Chris is not allowed to.
I pretty
some
much
people, that's
make
good.
sure
That's
of that.
that's good to be honest though, because some people know that they're not responsible
Some
enough.
people are not fit.
There's like, I'm having trouble fucking getting myself what I want and taking care of myself, and I'm like, that's a responsible adult.
It's kind of
to
fucked
not-
of somebody to
One
kind
of
of
those-
have a kid when they know deep down that
Anybody
they can't.
can have sex and have a kid. It takes a
Right.
real man or a woman to be there and provide.
Exactly.
And like, I stepped up to the plate to take care of my grandpa because he changed my diapers.
Right.
And I'm like, in the end, I changed his, and
Pay
it was
it
the
forward.
most rewarding experience of my life. And then, before I knew it, I stopped shaving, I stopped cutting my hair, and I started looking like Jesus. I had like this real long hair all the way down to my butt.
Yeah.
And like, it was funny how society was judging me different.
Just because of the way you look.
Yeah. And it was like a good social experiment.
Yeah. You think you're gonna do it again?
Growing the hair out.
Yeah.
I need to shave. I haven't shaved in a while, but it's just really interesting. Uber and Lyft was a very humbling experience, and it made me appreciate like every walk of life, no matter what they look like or what the color of their skin is.
Heck yeah.
It's all about
nuts.
the character, the
content of that
content of
individual.
the character. We're losing. A lot of people are losing sight of that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the social media.
There's
shit
so many
keeps us
kids that
divided.
need help. That people that just want a friend. People that just need a community. And I think that with COVID, like I was saying, it's highlighting in parents what they're missing in their life, and before they know it, those 5 to 10 years are going to be gone, and they're going to be teenagers.
Just like that.
And they're going to want them back. And
Oh,
I've talked
God,
to
yeah.
so many parents that, because like it took them 5 to 10 years to grow up to be an adult, to realize the responsibility you need to raise a kid and have a
Right.
family.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm hustling. I'm working my ass off right now to create my own company, to create my own businesses, so I could have the house I want and have a home where I could create a family.
Right.
Instead of like this nonsense of like, you cannot support a family on these jobs that there's.
They're
These
really
society
low.
has set up this like, it's like an engine. Like they're.
It's like a pyramid scheme almost.
It's insane. That's what these kids were
There
saying. The people I was picking up with Uber and Lyft, they're like, no matter how hard I work, 40, 60 hours a week with overtime,
Taxes are taken out.
they
More
get
and more.
they're stuck.
More and more you make, they take.
They're literally stuck in the areas they're born into unless they find investments.
Or find other people.
Yep.
That are.
Or if
like
they're born in
mindset.
money, yeah. They're born into money.
Born into money too, yeah.
Or have that entrepreneurial aspect of where they were self-taught and they teach themselves how to make money.
Right.
And I don't think school systems are designed to do that.
They teach that. They
how to
teach
be a good
us
employee.
to stay in debt. How to stay in debt. How to keep taking loans out. Stay in debt. And you're always in control. You're always controlled because you're in debt.
Yeah.
That's what the U.S. system basically is.
I think. Go ahead. No.
I mean, you know.
They always say go to college, take out a loan, get a house. You got to take out a loan. You get,
It was set up by the banking financial institutions.
Right.
They had to sell a product, and they were like, nobody was supposed to ever own a home. It was designed for money. Same with real estate. All real estate. Same with death. It's like a coffin, plot of land.
Right.
It's how can
money,
profit
actually.
off of
even tombstones.
It's all
Even
it's
getting
all
a
money.
tombstone's expensive.
It's all real estate.
Right. I mean, you're dead. You have to pay for your own death.
Yeah, I don't want to. I have a will after my car accident. I do not want to be put into a metal casket. I do not want to be embalmed. And I want to be covered in mushroom spores and seeds. That I want to hold a seed of, like, I think either an elm tree, and there's a symbiotic relationship with a certain fungus, and all of the other seeds will have this neural network of, like, this mycelial intelligence that connects, like the internet. Everything that's in my coffin is going to create a forest.
That's sick.
Where it's like I've been doing the research of trying to figure out what bacteria needs to be present and how our body decomposes. Like, are you familiar with compost? Mm-hmm. Like, think about how like an apple, like if you sit it there and you watch like a time lapse of it rotting.
Yeah.
Imagine like our bodies are supposed to do the same thing. Like, if we saw an animal or a human body on the ground in the forest, after a certain amount of time, it would decay and turn back into the earth. It would turn back into soil. And that bacteria, I had this weird idea that we're in this weird spacesuit. And this thing we're living in is, like, our consciousness right now that we're sharing is electromagnetic. Mm-hmm. And when I saw my best friend in his coffin, I'm like, where did he go? Because it's like if I was looking at your vehicle you're in. Right. But I'm like, I couldn't talk to him.
Yeah. Where did the driver go?
We're this conversation. Yeah. Like, I used to talk to him like this, and it's really bizarre how you could take it for granted and have like a separation, or go your whole life and not realize that you are the observer and this body is temporary. And if you take care of this thing and respect it, just like a car. You ever see people take care of their cars and how nice they look? That's kind of what I'm doing with my body. I'm fine-tuning and polishing this machine, and it's starting to get
better and better.
And people are starting to recognize it.
Yeah.
Just like when nobody has to say that, like, oh, look, I cleaned my car for fucking 20 hours.
You can just see it, and you're like, that's a nice looking car. That was really clean.
My neighbor's 86 years old, and I'm about to be 26. We're 60 years apart. And I go on bike rides with him all the time. We ride a mile around my block.
And you guys talk the whole time?
Yeah, and he's really good. He's still there. He's
awesome.
He's
probably because he exercises.
He cuts his grass. He still rides his bike.
That's exactly why.
He goes to car shows, dude. His Camaro looks exactly like it's mint.
Oh yeah,
it's perfect. It's like him.
Probably. Is that Gran Turismo?
I do not know. It may be
with
Clint Eastwood.
I should know the car. Yeah, it's crazy though.
So how far did you bike here today?
I was going to bike, but I was working. I had a couple jobs I had to finish up, and that's what I was saying. I was mad that I was late. But
no, you're good.
My birthday's coming up, and I had to make sure that like I cleared that space, and I had those jobs set up. So after this, that's what I was saying. I didn't know if you guys wanted to like go on a bike ride, because I have enough bikes for all of us.
Oh, really?
I have nice bikes. We could come, because I'm only like probably 15, 20 minutes away from here, and then we could go on a short bike ride. It's a perfect day.
Yo, let's go.
And like there's
he takes like, I'm ready. We're over time? Yeah. All right, Dan. Well,
that's it.
Good to have you on. We'll have you on again.
Hell yeah,
sure,
dude.
Definitely.
Heck yeah, bro.
Yeah, let's go on a bike ride.
Yeah.